Hello, guys. Hello. Good morning. Hey, Jasmine Beauty. Hi. Okay. Jasmine says, I know I stayed up way too late last night writing, working on another book manuscript. I'm struggling today. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what that means? That means that you created another great one. That's what just right off the top of my head, what I heard. So, do you drink coffee or anything? Maybe have some tea. I know that coffee is literally like my salvation. Okay. So, a lot of people call it an addiction. I love coffee. Okay. Sometimes I drink and eat things for the spiritual, magical properties of it. And I love coffee. Okay. Hello, sis. Hello, 1EQ. Hello. How are you today? Jasmine, I cannot wait. And you know what? I'm gonna do it tonight. I am going to read the book of flight, the Jasmine Ambrosia's book of which flight. I'm gonna do that tonight. I've been kind of dealing with some stuff, and I want to be able to actually sit back and just kind of take it in. Because when I lately, after I eat dinner, I've just been knocked out. Okay. Ooh, oh God, I'm intrigued. Liber spiritus. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. I love coffee. Okay, my coffee is like it's a ritual. Literally, it is. And I'm starting to drink it with less and less sugar. Like a little, like a half a teaspoon of sugar and some sweet creamer. And yeah, so I love the taste of coffee, the energy. Do you have any thoughts on Aradia or the Gospel of Witches? You know, I actually have that Oracle deck in the book, which I was actually inspired to get it because of you. This was like, I think it was like maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, somewhere in there. And I've actually done a couple of readings. I listen, I love Aradia. Oh my goodness. It's just sometimes I feel like it's so many goddesses, but you can't necessarily work with all of them all the time. But I actually My thoughts on it, it's all about teaching the craft in its original raw form. Like, even though the Oracle deck and the book, it goes a lot into how, patriarchy and stuff like that try to destroy the craft and, a lot of that stuff. And so I think I'm gonna pull out that deck too because I have it. I put it up. Yeah, I want to be in a mood to where I am just like, because I've been doing so much spiritual work. Um, as far as with, some things that I've been doing. So literally from the time I get up in the morning until, but yeah. Oh, you like your coffee black? Oh, see, I can't drink black coffee. The Catholic subversion of the gospel. See, Jasmine, why am I so mean when it comes to religion? Oh my God. I may be just still kind of, see, Jasmine has the girl. See, listen, I don't even, is it like when you say Catholic subversion, does that mean like it goes against Catholicism, or like, girl, you're gonna have to explain that to me. I wish that you would come on my panel. If I drop the link, will you come on my panel? Or if you're probably at work, so or somewhere else. So, but yeah, that see, for me, I am still at the extreme side of completely abolishing religion. I just, okay, okay, yeah, okay. And I was watching you during that time and I was totally with you. Okay. So see the subversion kind of, okay. The blasphemy, the Catholic blasphemy, like it literally, yes. Um I felt that and that's why I liked it. Yeah, please, let's do that. I would be honored to have you up here. Yes. Yes, I love it. I love it. I am ready for it. Um yeah, I'm totally against, like, I can't do the religion thing, the organized religion, and it just I know that when it comes to certain things, I kind of feel like usually I'm going to tell you my relationship with the whole religious thing. I feel like I'm just constantly, because I'm a witch. It is. Oh God, yes. Mhm. And I'm with you 1000% on that, because because here lately I've had to read the Bible solely so that I can remove what I feel are biblical curses. And so my spiritual just recently, and I don't know if this is probably something that you experienced years ago in your craft or maybe not. I feel like the tarot, when you are looking and diagnosing curses, which is, to me, a curse is a chain, it's a bondage, it's so against nature, which I feel like Aradia connects with nature. But I feel like the tarot actually tells you which biblical curse has been either spoken or used on you. Have you ever felt that? Like the numbers. And so sometimes when I'm doing my research, my spirits will show me exactly the curse, like the numbers. It'll code it, like it's, have you ever experienced that? I'm curious. And these are things that I'd like to ask other witches about, because when you look at it, a lot of people reading from different ways, but if a witch feels like she's being attacked, or if she feels like her rights are being taken away from her, or she feels like she's being subjugated and abused, I feel like that's where Aradia is really, really good. And yeah, oh God, yes. Because what I've noticed since the witch hunt started, I feel like they're speaking Bible curses on us. And, this is what pushed me towards the left hand path, essentially. Um, and that's why I am where I'm at this point, especially with the whole never suffer a witch to live. And I've been actually using uh, the tarot to diagnose because there's spirits in words, there's spirits in the Bible. And it's so harmful because, yeah, yeah, I know. And it's just really very, oh, it's not anything that I would, oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, so that right there. So blasphemy is peace. It's very peaceful. It's very loving. I'm actually going to be honest with you. They claim that there's so much love and love and love in the Bible. I don't feel that. So blasphemy is healing. It's peaceful. But maybe it's because it's a witch's point of view, because I don't believe that. Okay, so this is something that I feel like there is a little witch in all of us. But do you feel that there are some women that are born biologically that literally do not have, like that? How do I put this? Trying to articulate this. That innate witchiness about themselves, which is to where, like, when people are talking to you about patriarchy and they're telling you about these rules, it's like, I'm sorry, I don't, you know, I don't take this. Kind of like that wild power, that connection with nature. Yeah, yeah, it does. Okay, I'm starting to agree with that. I am, because as far as not everyone is a witch, and it's not an insult to anyone, but I feel like when you're a witch, you're going to make it happen. No matter if a man gives you permission to, or even a woman gives you permission to. So it's not just for women, there's male witches, right? So that right there, like, I don't need for someone to have to give me permission, or tell me that I can do it. I'm gonna do it. And what difference does it make? How does this bother you? So yeah. Okay, yes. And you know what, I've been working with a lot of the witches on those wounds, because I realized that I had them. It was something that was very real, and it was very powerful. When I began to get triggered, the natural response in my body to how it felt to have these religiously indoctrinated spirits and energies being thrown at me, it feels like Oh God, it's awful. It's an awful feeling. It is. It's really something that I just want to like. I just so it's not anything that anybody is pretending. It's not. It's something that literally has hurt me to my core, and Lilith has helped me heal from that because um I don't know if you believe in past lives, but I believe a lot of us witches that have returned, we do have past lives and we do connect with those past lives. And that's why we do shadow work. Do you believe that past life work is a part of shadow work, Jasmine? Because I do. Because, like, I have sensed just being tortured. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. I've never thought about connecting with Eve. I do more so connect with Lilith. Interesting. I've never delved into much about Eve. Would you have to read the Bible to get that information? Because honestly, I can't sit down and read it. You know how some people are like, "Well, I've read the Bible." I have never done that, and I'm trying to avoid doing it. Yeah, okay. I would really love to know more. Have you made a video on that? Because um I think that I do connect with Eve as far as like when it comes to her loyalty with Adam. I don't know much about their relationship, but I know as a witch, I can't ever be in a relationship with someone that doesn't allow my witchiness to go wild because it is very wild, but it's controlled. It has a purpose, and the purpose is not only survival, but the purpose is also serenity and peace and healing and happiness and joy. And yeah, there's going to be times where you're not going to be happy because you may have to deal with some, but so you know how I am, right? Awesome. Yeah. Did they even speak much of Eve in the Bible after she bit that apple? I do know that she began to have children. Awesome. Okay. Eve chose to eat the apple. She was designed to be obedient, but she deliberately became defiant. Yeah, she is just as strong, as powerful as Lilith, but in a different way. Interesting. Yeah, I do more so connect with Lilith, but I feel like I connect to both of them in a sense. But I'm just the type of person to where the way I feel about it is that I have my own agenda, so to speak. It's not a bad agenda, but it's for me. It's all about the craft and the connection with nature. And so the story of Eve eating the apple was that the connection with nature. And so I think that sometimes if oh goodness, how do I say this? There are sometimes you have to be disobedient, but why does the relationship between man and woman have to be that? What is that? And so that's why I stopped calling men my daddy. sometimes I'll go into that place, but I feel like when a man uses it to try to weaken me, that's when I have a problem, right? So I don't, you know how some women call their men their daddy? Our husbands are not our fathers. So it's kind of like obedient for what? Why would I need to be obedient versus us knowing what needs to be done to make things as functional as possible? Why do I have to be obedient? Are you going to be obedient to me as well? I feel that I feel that in that connection with the masculine and the feminine, both of them are being obedient. So that's why, to me, the whole Bible thing is just completely discredited, in my opinion. Yeah, the Dawes women of the Bible. Okay. Lilith is the loud, rebellious woman, and Eve is her shadow, also rebellious, but in a way that is quiet and infiltrates, much like how oppressed peoples hid their pagan gods behind saints. Yeah, interesting. Some people say Lilith was the serpent that blessed Eve with the apple, and Eve biting into the apple shows that. I agree. I believe that Lilith was definitely the serpent. Absolutely. And guess what? Apples are delicious. Okay, like most people's favorite dessert is the apple pie. So but it's with me at this point right now. I feel that what the goddess has to do is break free, and I'm not doing what any man expects for me to do, because I know that when I did it my way by myself, it worked. It worked. So I just, you know, mm, interesting. It was a pomegranate. Wow. That made me think about Persephone. Wow. Um, I couldn't imagine biting into a pomegranate. That would be unpleasant as hell. Oh my goddess. But yeah, I do believe in, like, with fruits and stuff, because I do work with fruits in my magic. On Lilith's altar, I actually have 3 paperweights of apples. And yeah, so I definitely do believe in the power of the apple, but also the pomegranate. Absolutely. I try to buy pomegranate. And pomegranate has been kind of difficult to find in the stores. Like, you have to go to some kind of specialty market to get that and dragon fruit. Speaking of which, I would love to have some dragon fruit right now. I see Hecate, Lilith, Aradia, Diana, Kali, Astarte, Ishtar. Oh God, yeah, I love Ishtar waking up within our women and bringing us back to our blood. I agree. I agree, and they need to. They need to, because I believe that there needs to be balance. But oh God, there was a story that I just read about that war that's going on over in oh God, my brain is just kind of scattered at the moment. Israel. And there was a story that they just showed on YouTube about how a woman proposed peace and he just killed her and her son just because she proposed peace to him. That's just so erroneous in so many levels. Oh goodness. Now, who is Eve's mama? Is it, they don't get into that in the Bible, do they? Yeah. Oh my God, I bet it is. I love wine. I'm gonna try to find some wine like that. Where do you get? I wonder where I can get that from. I'll look that up and order some. Yes, that sounds so good. Um, I was actually connecting with Persephone today. I feel that my connection with all of the goddesses is that it's just straight up this right here. Um, women are to be respected. Witches are to be respected. And as far as a relationship with the masculine, men should step in if there's harm being done, because if you are trying to harm someone that's not trying to harm you, and that's how I've always been a very fair and kind person. But then again, and see, my mother, she used to always correct me when I would say I'm a Cancer. She would say, you are on the cusp of Cancer and Gemini, because I can be on one extreme or the other. I can, in this sense, to where like I am a I just I'm a kind person. I love to live and be happy. But if I have to be that the evil, so I'm both good and evil basically, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that you is sometimes you have to be evil, I guess, to defend yourself, or either to do what is right as far as what your path is. And so I could definitely say that there are aspects that I have aspects of Eve and Lilith, you know. Um Interesting. Adam was made from clay, and Lilith was a spirit of storms imbued in the clay of the earth to mate with Adam to rise, Yahweh above all the other gods of the Fertile Crescent. Very deep. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So we're talking about creation right now. And as far as with my beliefs, do it that's is that truth for me. I haven't accepted it exactly as truth as far as how people were created, but that does make sense. So do I feel that I came from a man's rib? No, I don't feel that way. I feel like I came from a woman's womb, that and not the person that I am. Not, I'm talking about my spirit, like a cosmic womb or something. And so, but as far as their experiences, I feel that connection and understanding. And so, let me see if you said Lilith was a spirit of storms. Well, however she got here, however she was created. Mythology, right? Okay. Okay. Well, it's definitely a mystery that it's fun pondering it, as far as like, the origination and everything, and where we came from. It's definitely very interesting to talk about. And I love mythology. I do. And you know what? A lot of it I do believe in. I do believe in a lot of mythology, like is actually being real, but it depends on what it is. So yeah, interesting. But I still think that they're very powerful energies to work with. So do you feel like they are here, like they how do you feel as far as like any kind of human form? Do you feel that we take on the human form for them? I mean, it's very interesting. It really is because as far as Lilith and her energy, and as far as being a witch, I believe truly and solely that if more people would listen to the wisdom of the witch, and actually they could actually benefit from it. And I feel that it is a huge mistake for people to be afraid of it or to reject it. Because not only have I created healing and miracles for myself, but for other people. When I go into ritual, I know and I consider what I'm doing. So many people think that that it's just kind of like this thing that you play with. But when I go into ritual, I know that I am doing something, and I know that I have to keep in mind what I am doing and consider exactly what I'm doing and not take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? And then with Lilith, as far as her position, um, because I was actually just in meditation right before I came on here. And so my connection with hell, my connection with the underworld, from what they how they resonate for me, I'm being told by religion and the church that the devil is going to come up and physically destroy the earth, and we're all going to die, and it's horrible and it's disgusting, and we should be afraid. But for me, my relationship with them is that they save the earth, but more so death is change, and that change is needed. Like that change is desperately needed. So I feel like when Satan, Lucifer, or the underworld does what they do, I feel that there's healing. I feel that that I feel the complete opposite, that the underworld does not have an agenda to just destroy and tear down. I feel that it's healing and peace in the underworld. I feel very peaceful in the underworld. You know what I'm saying? But they depict it as being just this hellish place, and that's not what I get from it at all. In fact, it's a lot more peaceful than what I've seen, you know. You know what I mean? Let's just put it like this, I like a little bit of controversy, debate sometime, but for me, I like to live in bliss. I am one of those types of people. And Lilith, that's how I connect with her, because sometimes, like when the chaos is happening and the attacks, it feels like Lilith literally puts me in this place of extreme pleasure, extreme pleasure. And I am I know for a fact, and my children do not, they are a part of that, but it's not a sexual thing, but they are a part of that bliss. So like my children don't disturb that. Like I can sit here and literally do ritual, and Jacob will sometimes be down there bumping around, and downstairs will be playing and stuff in the living room, and it doesn't bother me. But for me, my connection with it, especially in my older age, is just being in a constant state of bliss and pleasure and serenity. I don't like all of the, well, the, like, and you know what I mean? And that's just where, and I feel like that bliss should be here on earth. It shouldn't be something that, well, when you die, you're either going to go to heaven and have all this bliss and serenity. I feel like these are things that have been on the earth, are present on the earth, and we can connect to that with nature and spirits. And so for the past year, I have not seen one rainbow over here. And probably like 2 or 3 years ago, I would catch several rainbows, sometimes even double rainbows. So I believe in mythical creatures like unicorns, things of that nature. In fact, when I'm doing any kind of healing work, especially healing from anxiety, healing from depression, I will use my unicorn symbolism to bring that energy in. And it is that place of magic to connect with that. And I believe that both what people consider up or down or in between is a gateway, it's a doorway for that. Because that feeling of fear, that feeling of powerlessness, and what we were talking about, like the void or a place of desolace, and then, oh my God. And so, Jasmine, I've heard you talk about fairies too. And so I felt a lot of healing energy from the fairies, and I feel like somehow they do connect you with that magic. And so I know that you were saying that I don't know if you don't really like the fae, or you don't really trust the fae, but what are your thoughts on that? And in the meantime, I want to do some readings though, guys, because I feel like because I felt that I can feel a couple of people in the chat that want me to throw them some cards. And Jasmine may have went out to work. By the way, guys, that's Jasmine Ambrosia. Amazing lady. Go sub to her channel and buy her book. I already have it, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think she's probably on her way to work. Okay, so sis was in here. Okay. Yeah. Let me go up and see if I can still get your chat messages, because sometimes StreamYards will take it away. Because it won't let me scroll up all the time. Okay. Lovely question, 1EQL. Okay, so here it's reading time. Okay. All right. Let me see here. I would like a reading. I really want to win the biggest jackpot ever, like right now today. If I may, what is blocking me from having this today or in the very near future? Oh yeah. Seven of Cups comes up. And I felt that. Seven of Cups literally fell out of my deck. And it's in the upright position. I'm going to throw a couple of more cards to supplement that card. But right off the bat, I feel like it's deception. Before I even throw the second card, it's deception. And then when we're dealing with the cups, we're dealing with the heart, we're dealing with the emotions, which mainly for women is surrounding either the heart chakra or either the sacral. Oh, goodness. My cards just started doing all kind of weird stuff. Okay. So, sis, 1 EQ. It's too many. There's too many disillusions. There's too many illusions and deceptions that you are sort of accepting. You don't really believe that you can win that jackpot. You don't believe it. You're still being deceived. Let me throw another card. Yeah, the Hierophant comes up in the upright position. Kind of tells me that someone, more than likely a male energy, their energy seems to be wrapped around feels like a bondage type of thing, like where you're, it's like a deception. You're allowing yourself to be deceived. And then the moon card comes up inverted. So again, deception. I said deception. It's deception. You feel you don't really believe that you can get that. And so, in order to do the workings, you're going to have to do the work on yourself. But at the same time, you do have to make your will, and not just your will, but you have to take control back of yourself. Absolutely. I was going to say that. I was actually going to say that. It's, he's programmed you way too much to feel as though like you either don't deserve that or either, yeah, it's all about what you deserve. But it's a deception because you do deserve it. You do. So that within itself, and I've noticed that because you know that he still has way too much power over your mind and your heart. And I understand that it is for some people a good thing. It is a good thing. A lot of people are daddy's girls, but did daddy provide for you? And then, those things, no, he didn't. And either he wouldn't or he couldn't. But that doesn't mean that you can't provide yourself those things. That doesn't mean that you don't have the personal power or either the mystical power to manifest whatever you want. So, Seven of Cups is a very, very deep card. And you know what I'm going to do in case you guys come in and get a reading and you schedule a private one? I'm going to write down what cards we pulled today. Because if I don't write them down, I'm not going to remember. But there are actual deities and spirits that are connected to these cards, which give them like a totally deeper meaning. associated with Seven of Cups. There's a deity associated with the Hierophant. There's definitely a deity associated with the Moon card inverted. So we're going to write this down. Give me a second. I just had to find a piece of paper. Hey, Christian. Hey, sweetie. I'm sorry I had to check out last night right when you came to the chat. Hello, everybody. Christian is so sweet. Thank you for coming, Christian. Um, Give me a second. Let me find all of my computer papers downstairs. Go figure. In my new house, I want an office with like a what's that? It's not a let out bed, but it's more so like a one of those beds that you can sleep on. Cause I swear I'm gonna sleep mainly in my office. I'm just gonna be like, oh, I don't feel like going up to my bedroom. I'm gonna lay down here right now. So right now, like I'm not near my paper. Okay. So I'm gonna write this down. Seven of Cups, Hierophant, and the Moon inverted. Okay. So later on, when I'm done here, a futon, yes, girl. I think I need another cup of coffee. And you know what? I also need to burn some rosemary because I feel like my mind is healing, and stuff is passing through, or either I'm seeing stuff. People lighting them skull candles on me, thinking that they can permanently do damage. Hmm. Where is my rosemary at? I always anoint my forehead as well as my hair and my scalp with a mixture of castor oil and a few drops of my rosemary essential oil. Knocks that stuff right on out of there. All that head work and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So Christian says, I would like to know if Haley Baldwin is doing any kind of magic on Justin Bieber. Oh, cool. So Haley is a Sagittarius. I don't know who Haley Baldwin is. Is that one of the Baldwin daughters or something? Alec Baldwin or the other Baldwin? And then Justin Bieber is a Pisces. Okay. Spirit guides, do you see Haley Baldwin doing any kind of magic on Justin Bieber? Yeah, yes or no. And I did get a yes answer. Did they date? I don't know anything about them. I don't follow Justin Bieber, but it's got something to do with love. Did they date or something? She's doing both light and dark magic on him. You're going to have to tell me about these people because I don't know anything about them, but I feel like it has something to do with love. Oh, okay. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I definitely can see that it's got something to do with love. Two of Cups in the upright position, and then Temperance. So Temperance is upright. So these two cards came up upright. So the light work that she's trying to do on him is to make him be faithful because apparently she either feels like he's cheating, But then she's also trying to get him to open up more emotionally so that they can connect. Okay, he's kind of disconnected emotionally, which surprises me about a Pisces, but that definitely can happen. Um, why is Justin Bieber disconnecting emotionally? He's trying to heal himself from trauma, from childhood trauma. And it's taken a long time. It's taken a long time. But even with the craft, even with doing spiritual work on a man, it could still take a very long time if he's not, it's almost like timing. Now, the dark stuff that I can see her doing, which can be considered good or bad, is that she's trying to slow him down so that he can sit and think. So that's actually kind of a good thing. She doesn't want him to see himself with anybody but her. So it looks like some standard love work. Oh my God. And Selena Gomez is having health problems. Now, I actually stumbled across a video about that. Anyway, we're not talking about Selena Gomez. My daughters used to like Selena Gomez, though when they were younger, they've gotten older. Now they're in their 20s now, but that made me think about my babies. Um, yeah, she's definitely doing spiritual work on him. And let me see if she's need more info about this, please. Yeah, there's some kind of change that she wants to facilitate. She's definitely not happy in the marriage. She's trying to make it work, though. She's trying to make it work. In fact, they're very, very disconnected in the marriage. And you know what? Without even throwing the cards, but let me confirm that this has something to do with them being under like a governmental marriage. Is that why it's so bad? Because it looks really bad. The relationship looks really bad. Looks very toxic. Four swords inverted, toxic. Hold on a second. Is Haley and Justin's marriage, is it because of the governmental energies surrounding their marriage? Yes or no? Well, it's not just because of that. It's several factors, but that's one bad factor. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, there was a card hiding. Yeah, that's not their main issue, but that's a part of their issue. And I know it is because the justice card comes up inverted. That that's one of the reasons why I would never get married that way. And it is because I feel like marriage is very systematic. And for me, it's okay for other people. It's fine. I'm not judging anybody else, right? So I would never say, "Oh, I'm just going to." No, I feel like the government is a system that makes money. So when it comes to your marriage, why give them dominion over your marriage with someone that you truly love? So it's also about statistics. It's a money making machine. Even and I guess that's why people spend so much money on their wedding, because but it actually costs less money to get married, but more money to get divorced. And then usually, because I've seen people in divorce court, it feels very foreign to me. I could never make any kind of love commitment to a man and then us have so many issues that we have to have the government tell us what to do with that, let alone our children. So that within itself, that's how I look at the whole situation. So I'm definitely a common law marriage believer, right? I just, and I think it depends on what government you're in, who's in office, what's going on. And it's not to say, oh, we just want to avoid paying the government any money, because we pay them taxes, right? But for me to take my love relationship and play Russian roulette with it, I can't do that. That's why I refuse to stand at a justice of the peace with the man that I love to get some kind of certificate that gives us permission to get married. So, and so that's why probably never in this lifetime will I do it. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's kind of how I see that. Like for me, I will accept some government types of situations like taxes. Death, no. I refuse to. Like I'm going to, oh, I could say so much. Um, but taxes, yes, I'm accepting of taxes and fees and things of that nature. But for me to have it rule my life, it kind of like I'm totally against that. Okay. Respectfully. Respectfully. Okay. However, I'll go by the rules. I will. Um, you know, not trying to be a tyrant, you know. Okay, so Christian wants to know, is a divorce coming up soon? No, it's not. I gotta know. Confirm with me if that's a yes or no. It'll be it. You know what? It's not coming up soon. So the answer to your question, is it coming up soon? The answer is no. But is it the inevitable? They're definitely going to get divorced. Okay, I would say give it another. Is this several years? Yeah, it'll be at least another several years before they divorce. Okay. And you know what? With that said, I'm going to plug my phone in and I'm getting ready to. If you guys want to schedule private readings, the link to my website is below in the video description box. Or if you would like a free reading, a complimentary reading, you can post your question in the chat. I would be happy to give you guys complimentary readings. In fact, I love doing complimentary readings. So you guys can post them in the chat. Yeah, they're definitely, she's holding on to him as long as she can, but it'll be at least another several years before they divorce. And she's got some powerful magic surrounding him to prevent that. Okay, to prevent that from happening. So is that the thing? Is that what all the fans are wanting? Is they want him to reunite with Selena Gomez and everything? Because I know for a fact that everybody was in support of their relationship, and it ended up, you know, I right off the top of my head, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber are twin flames. They are destined lovers. Now I don't even have to throw the cards to tell you that, because Selena Gomez came up several times in the reading. You know, she did. She came up several times as the lovers, as the person that is meant for him to be with. Sadly, because of the control surrounding the money, because they've got children, right? Probably will never happen. You know, do you know what Selena Gomez's zodiac sign is? Because I believe I kept seeing her come up in the reading. Yeah. You know, destined lovers don't always have to be together. It's sometimes it's not meant to be, or if it is meant to be, it's just one of those things. He's not dealing with it very well. But that's just from what I could see. You know how it is. Society and people around you sort of create the trauma so that you can live in a false world, in a falsely created world, typically created, every I do believe that there's a lot of people that are living in a false world. And but do I believe that it's like a computer or something like that? No, I don't. I believe that we're all here, flesh and bone, flesh and blood with a heartbeat that's real. We are physically here, of course. But I do believe where the falsely created world comes in is where you got witchcraft. There are a lot of people that are using witchcraft to create a false world for people, and it definitely can do that. Why do you think us witches use skull candles? um I actually just bought a beautiful skull candelabra for my boon altar. And it's if a person can get in your head and convince you of something, or they can manifest things like that, especially through meditation or intention. I believe that that's one way. Okay. That he may not grow up to be older. Interesting. Okay, give me a second. I was anointing my head. Now I'm doing my forehead. Yeah, so okay. All right, let's look at Sis's second question. I would like to know about the healing my recent water visits with marine life has caused. Let me clear my cards a little bit, sis. And I'm gonna have to get some coffee. He might leave this earth and be gone. I didn't see anything like that in the reading, Christian, so you may not have to worry about that. But I did see that emotionally he's dealing with some things, and so yeah, the stuff that he's dealing with emotionally could put him in an early grave. Yeah, you're right. If he doesn't work on healing himself. And the type of healing that the wife is trying to do is not necessarily his own individual healing. It's more so that he can serve her purpose. It's not necessarily for his purpose, it's for her purpose. Okay. So I'm going to move on here. Um, what messages do you have about healing? One EQ wants to know about the healing that the water visits with marine life has created for her and her baby. Oh yeah, a lot. Two of Swords comes up in the upright position, and I see nothing but water behind her. And then the Nine of Cups comes up upright. The Wheel of Fortune inverted. So what I can see with that is that definitely a doorway opened up doors. Sis, we need to talk about this in private though, because there's a lot that I need to talk to you about. So when we have time today, we'll talk, okay? Because a lot of this stuff I really don't want to put it out there like that. In fact, whenever you schedule your next reading, we need to go over some of these cards that I pulled for you today, even because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a whole lot of that I'm getting from these cards, especially the Two of Swords. I'm seeing the crescent moon. I'm seeing doorways opening. I'm seeing empowerment for yourself to lead you to both of you, you and your baby, to a happier place. But then the Wheel of Fortune comes up and it's in the inverted position, followed by Queen of Cups inverted. So this is somebody that works there. This is somebody that works there that you really need to put your guard up, because this person is a seer, sis. Whoever this Queen of Cups is a seer, but she's in the inverted position. She's coming up as an adversary for me. um, and then the Fool card inverted. So this is the one that you were telling me was lying on you. Remember, the one that was starting crap with you on the job? That's her. She comes up in your reading. And I can't stress enough how important it is when you guys are at work. I know that it's, because we were both excited when you had gotten that job. We had manifested it together, through your spiritual work. And but so the excitement of it, you know, but it is important to do focused work on that specific, like the way that I do job protection is that I have the job name, your title, the address, and I just go from there. So yeah, she may be a water sign. I'm catching Scorpio vibes, but let's find out more about her. What about her, spirit guides? This Queen of Cups inverted. Why? Oh, yeah. She's very unhappy. She has identity issues. Her last day was today. Well, that's good. But you're still there, right, sis? You're still there. You still work there, right? Oh, you said they are all like her. Okay, so that's different between. Yeah, you're definitely going to need some concrete, like some very, very serious protection for that job so that you can make your money cuz you're still there. Yeah. Yeah, they that you done walked you done walked in the snake pit, hon. You done walked in the snake pit. Okay, I'll get to your questions in a minute. Your question, all friends want to buy a kitty. Um, yeah, and you know what? I am the same way. Okay. I'm kind of the same way because for me, I have to scope people out for a while. I've learned that lesson. YouTube is a lot different because there's no boss. Nobody should be competing for anything, even though it doesn't seem that way. People still want to like be weird. So like on YouTube, we're like all creators. And so it should be that way, but I like to sit back and like just kind of watch people these days before I cozy up to them. Um, and it's not to say that it's not okay to cozy up to people at the job, especially if and if they can, if they're actually trying to, if they're there to be a friend and not a foe. Okay. Or but I feel like with you and what you're dealing with, I feel like you really, really need to like, don't shut yourself off from people, but to more so put up your defenses. And so I was actually going to suggest, I'm going to ask because, I can divinate anything with my cards. What kind of protection can be worn on the body? What kind of protection does one EQL should she wear on her body while she's at work as well? Because when it comes to protection, it's not about just doing one thing. You have to have several layers when it comes to protection. Or either protection needs to sometimes be, protection can actually be very baneful against the other person that you're protecting yourself from. I got the Four of Wands as far as protection, was the first card that I threw. So that would denote some kind of, I'm getting wood or either a stone. Yeah. Hold on a second. Okay, so good news, guys. I'm going to be ordering some of St. Michael's swords, like those little small ones that can be worn as necklaces. And I actually have one somewhere around here that I know was inspired by Saint Michael and then my other deities. Y'all know that cute little thing that we sell at my supplier where it's like a well, it's actually an athame, but it's like a athame that locks into a dragon, um and it's a necklace, and mine is somewhere around here. I can imagine that as soon as I start doing organizing and going through stuff, I'm gonna find it because it's around this house somewhere. But I want to actually get some of those swords. So I feel that if you wear a necklace, a swords necklace, because I got all swords. Four of Wands comes up, but then Queen of Swords, Seven of Swords, Four of Swords. And I actually was just looking at those because, and I'm going to get them for protection. Right now, what I am wearing is a mirror. You're welcome, Christian. Thank you for coming. So you is spine tingling. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm and see, you're different from me. You're different from me, one EQ, because I would have moved. I would have moved. I gotta get a break. I think that eventually that's gonna be a good thing for you to do is to relocate, even if it's for a little while or forever. I personally could not live in Florida. Personally, I couldn't do it. But there's a lot of people they relocate to Florida. They love living in Florida. I wouldn't do it. Okay. Um, I think I would visit because I do want to see the ocean in public. But I'm more of a woodsy girl. I like the woods. I like trees. I like rivers, not rivers. I like lakes and ponds and stuff. And, so yeah, I'm more of a woodsy type of woman. So, that big ocean, I think I could get used to it, but it's nice, but I'm more of like a foresty type of person anyway. Okay, I'm going to get to the next question. I'm going to order those and I'll send you one EQ. I'll send you one that's blessed because they have them in bulk. And so I'm going to order a whole bunch of them because I want one for myself. So it's basically like a sword, but it's a necklace. Kinsley's mommy says petrified wood. Yes, that would be another one. That would be another one. Um, like I said, when I do my readings, I literally have to break it down and do research sometimes because I'm going to be honest with you, it's easier for me to read other people than myself sometimes. So what I do is I like to really really look not just at the meaning of the cards, but what's in the cards. So I did get the Four of Wands, but I also got Queen of Swords. So that's a sword, which I feel like the type of protection to wear on you would be or either you can alternate, or either something that brings in that energy. I don't know why I'm hearing a gate, some kind of a gate, something that's representative of fire energy, or either some kind of earthy stone. Again, I feel like when it comes to wearing protective jewelry, you should know what that stone or that item is doing, what it means, and how it's going to protect you. And maybe there are certain days you should connect with it to where there may be certain days that you should wear it. Like maybe not wear your sword every single day, maybe only wear it on a Monday. Wearing some kind of symbolism of sword or either crystal on a Monday would be very good for you to do. And it'll be helpful because Mondays, the energies of Mondays are kind of very cutthroatish a little bit. They say that Lucifer's day is Monday, not saying that he's bad, but Monday is actually my favorite day of the week besides Thursday. So, for example, um, on a Thursday, I should probably wear something that is pertaining to that energy. So I feel like, protective jewelry, you should really consider it before you just go buying it, unless you go to like a Botanica and you're drawn to it. Oh, amber is amazing. Oh my God. You know what? Where's my box of jewelry? What did I do with it? Yeah, definitely amber. I love that stuff. I actually have like a little chunk of amber. What did I do with it though? I'm gonna have to find it because I need it. Okay. All my friends want to buy a kitty. I'm sorry, hon. If you are still here, I apologize that sometimes you have to wait. If you are still here, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna move on. And then I'm ready to answer your question now. In fact, I'm gonna get some coffee going too, guys, so we can just kind of talk about yeah, protective jewelry. You should really do the research, if not divinate it, to say, how is this gonna help me? Well, this may help protect you from psychic attacks. Okay, okay, cool. Um, so it's really, let me finish saying this. Um, it's really important to connect with how that's going to help you specifically, because something that may be good for someone else may not be good for you. You have to make it your own way, right? Okay. All right. I got to get some coffee though. Give me 1 minute. I got to mute. Okay. I'm getting things cleared here. Give me a second. I had no idea how good lemongrass and dragon's blood flowed together. That's what I'm burning right now. Is lemongrass and dragon's blood. Mm. Okay, all my friends want to buy a kitty wants to know if her Gemini neighbor and Leo baby daddy, how long the affair and what are they trying to steal and do? Oh God. Give me a second. Ooh, stuff is flipping around, girl. What's going on with the Gemini neighbor and her baby daddy? The world inverted. Five of Cups inverted. Four Wands inverted. The Star card upright. Kind of perplexing. Is confirmed with me. Spirit guides confirmed with me. Lilith, reveal to me if there's what's going on. Is it something going on? Yes or no? Are you sure that something is going on between the two of them? Oh, wow. I mean, I can see that something is definitely there. There's definitely some kind of deception here. But can I confirm that it's happening between this neighbor and the Leo baby daddy? No, it feels more so. I don't see that. Mm, Need more clarity on this. So you've confirmed that it's something going on between the two of them and that they're having an affair, and what are they trying to steal and do? Give me a second. Is the Leo baby daddy cheating with the Gemini neighbor? Goodness gracious. There's definitely something going on. Yeah, it is. But why does it seem like there's, oh God, what are they trying to do? What are they trying to do to all my friends want to buy a kitty? Child, you this I don't know why you ain't got no private reading. Maybe because you don't have the funding. But give me some clues as far as what they're trying to steal or do. Oh God. Yeah, your baby daddy ain't no good, girl. He ain't no good. Well, hell, she can't even trust him. First of all, first of all, let me just tell you about your baby daddy. Can't nobody trust him, not even her. So she getting played too. Please believe she getting played too. Okay, that's first of all. Okay. Um, but girl, you need to kick your baby daddy to the curb. Mm-mm. Yeah, he ain't no good. Honestly, it's real easy. Now, the reason why women have to fight with one another because of these men is because the woman will be like doing some crazy stuff against you. So you definitely need to not trust either one of them and protect yourself from the both of them. But I would say that with the baby daddy, I would not be fighting over him. I would, yeah, he ain't no good, girl. He ain't. He wants to use women. For him, it's all about control and domination. Yeah, and that he is evil. Yes. Hey Jen. Hey girl. He is evil, sweetie. I can see it. Oh, your baby daddy got a very bad spirit on him. Have you been feeling more tired than usual? Feel like you can't get enough sleep? Because I feel like your baby daddy is feeding off, like I feel like there is like what is he trying to steal? It's almost like he's eating you. It's like he's eating these women. He's eating them. And that is crazy because my girl Jasmine was just sitting here talking about that being in the Bible. There's yeah, that's what's happening, is that he's really sucking the life out of you. But it is because, and I'm going to tell you something. Is there hope for him? Yes, there's hope. Maybe because I did get the star card. It is very, very difficult to get men to let go of negative, bad spirits like this, because what I got was the Knight of Pentacles inverted. And this is a spirit that it's almost like I don't want to say succubus spirit. I want to say more of a parasitic spirit, more of a spirit that kind of like eats energy. So I feel like that's where your energy is. And so all of the women in your baby daddy's life, they're just getting fed on, but at an accelerated rate, like just pulling the, just like a freaking black hole. Yeah. And the Eight of Swords comes up, kind of, well, not kind of, reminiscent of you being like a genie or something, and like the energy being sucked right out of you. Yeah. And then Ace of Pentacles comes up, Four of Pentacles, and then Nine of Swords. So there's really some stuff that you need to pay attention to. And yeah, the focus does need to be on the fact that he's cheating. But then also, hun, you have got to focus on, how, what energies he brought into your life. It's almost like this man has opened up a very destructive path for you. Um, Two of Swords is in the inverted position. So that means that, and it's next to the King of Wands inverted, which is him, which means that he's opened up like this doorway of destruction and just nightmares to come through. Yeah. So someone else asked a question, and keep it real black. I'll answer her question. Can I have fries with that? I feel like you're definitely a troll. So I'm sorry I can't answer that question for you, but what I can tell you is that you probably should take a pregnancy test, or if you're serious, you need to schedule one of my pregnancy reads, because I do offer fertility readings. What do you do? Well, when I've determined that there's some kind of parasitic attachment, typically what you have to do is you have to take, well, first of all, there's usually shadow work that's needed. There's usually protection work that's needed. That, you need to take back your energy, especially if you're very tired, because because the issues that I could see is going to start creating like these phantom health problems for you. Okay. It's going to start creating phantom health problems, and like, uh, or just, and then I get the sense that there's sometimes you feel disconnected sort of from reality when it comes to that. And that is because he's a bad man. He's a bad man. He's not protecting you with, well, and see, I'd have to read deeper to know if he's doing it intentionally or if it's some kind of just spirit attachment. First of all, if he's not possessed by something that wants to do harm to you. Yeah. How much are my personal readings? My 30-minute readings are 44. 1 hour is 77. Yeah, I love men. I think that they're great. Do I always trust everything that they say? No, I don't. I can sniff it out very easily. No, you're trying to lead me down some kind of path of destruction, because and trying to, like, yeah, no, you shouldn't feel like a sacrifice when you're dealing with a man, and that's exactly what you're feeling. Yeah, but you know what? Can we schedule something in private? Or if you want me to continue doing it publicly, I can. You know, yeah, you can cash at me half for 44 for 15 minutes. Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. You can do that. I don't normally offer a 15-minute reading, but yeah, I do that. Um, yeah, you're well, I'm sorry. It's just that if it's a fertility question, it's fertility questions are very highly involved, and I would rather not, if you're serious, because your account, and then your account is making me hungry. Is it, see, now I gotta have some McDonald's fries. Girl, you done made me hungry with that account. Okay, I think you did that on purpose or something, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, if you're gonna ask a fertility question, I'd rather speak to you guys about that privately. Yeah. Well, some of these McDonald's franchises really kind of turn you off of McDonald's, but boy, it's a crapshoot when you get them fresh McDonald's fries. You know what I do to McDonald's to make sure that my fries are fresh? I tell them to not put salt on it, and they have to cook them fresh. You know. Okay. Here's my cash app. I'll post it in the chat. Okay, give me a second. That's my cash app, sweetie. But it's in the video description box too, though. That's exactly how it will make you feel. Oh my God. Like I'm telling you, it's almost like when I was going through it, when I was going through feeling like somebody was literally taking my life force, that's literally how it will make you feel. And I'm sure I put my spirits, put a stop to that mess. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, no, no. I gotta be here both mind, body, and spirit. Okay. I'm gonna answer and keep it real black's question. But confirm with me that you're still here, and I have been calling for coffee. Give me a second, guys. I gotta mute. Oh, I know who you are. Um, I've, I think I've spoken to you before. All my friends want to buy a kitty. I know who you are. Okay, so do you, I got it. Yep, I got it. So listen, when I get off of here, we can schedule your 15-minute. Okay. Okay. So text me so that I'll have a number to call you on. Okay. Just say, hey, this is so and so. And okay, but I want to answer and keep it real black question. So I'll get you in a second here. Okay. So, and keep it real black. If you're still here, let me know. I know a lot of people don't really like to buy the whole thing about that, as far as like, and then there's also soul swapping. There's also soul swapping, you know. Okay. All right. And keep it real black wants to know if anybody's doing witchcraft on her. So you want me to do it? I would, 15 minutes for me to go through a 15-minute reading. I guess I can do that. Let me get my coffee, and then we'll come back to that, okay? Because I don't want everybody else to You know, it's kind of like a quick, when I do live readings, it's usually supposed to be like a quick read that I do for the chat, you know, quick answer. Um, and then usually the longer ones take place behind the scenes. But give me a second. Let me answer the questions that are in here so that I can make sure to make it, you know, I know that you paid for it, hon. And so thank you. Okay. Yeah, for some reason I feel like I need to clear my cards. I'm gonna tell y'all right now that it's best to do readings in private because there's less energies right now. There's 11 people in here, and it's not that I can't decipher one person for the other, but whenever you're doing a private reading, that means that it is more focused. And then also when it comes to um your personal stuff, like right now when I'm speaking to my spirits about you, I mean, they know who you are, but it just, you know, it's best for me to, you know, ask questions by your name, and then also some of your spirit guides that recognize you by name. I'm gonna talk to y'all about what's in a name too. All right. And keep it real black wants to know if somebody's doing witchcraft on her, yes or no. Confirm with me that that's a yes or a no. Is somebody doing any kind of witchcraft on Ann Black, yes or no? Okay, who is that? I got a yes answer. There's somebody's currently doing some love work on you to be with them. They want you to make a commitment. Somebody wants you to rush into a marriage, but it'll be a bad marriage. It'll be the type of marriage that will take you years to recover from. Is the message that I'm getting. Does that make sense? Is that making any sense to you? It's definitely what I'm sensing is this is a Leo. It's got something to do with forcing you into some kind of commitment that is going to be bad for you, and it looks like it's marriage. That's what I'm seeing. Um Definitely tell that you're being pushed into it, something that you're being pressured to get into, and to me it looks like a relationship. Let me look at the other cards real quick. But it's not going to be good for you. It's going to be a situation that's going to bring you down and cause some destruction to your life. And it's being brought upon by a fire sign person. It'll be okay at first, but then you'll find out that it's gonna not be good for you, or at least it's not gonna last. Like some kind of promise that's being made falsely to you, something to convince you to deal with that situation. But then the situation, it's like it's almost like a pre-planned or premeditated type of thing. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I'll wait for you to respond. I'm waiting, and keep it real black. Okay, so you're already in a relationship with a Leo. Interesting. This is the let me see if this is the relationship that you're already in. Is it the same person? Does this have anything to do with the relationship Anne is in? No, this is separate, but whatever energy this is, again, this comes back up again, that somebody is trying to throw stuff at your marriage. So what I can see is the marriage going bad, and it has something to do with manipulation, especially if you're happy. It's and basically what I can see, like, because I can really see like between 4 to 8 years from now, like, so it's gonna take a while. I don't understand. Well, I don't understand these people that take forever, like 4 years to. It's definitely some kind of manipulation. But what I can see is your current marriage going bad, and you going to be with somebody else that's gonna be 10 times worse. I don't know why I'm seeing that. I'm just seeing that, but it's very far off. It's very far off though. So you must be having problems in your relationship then. You have to be. Some people don't like to admit to that. I feel that you're already seeing signs of problems in your relationship. And so within the next, this may be months. Is this months or years? No, it's years. So yeah, somebody definitely is throwing some stuff at you. What do you do for like y'all know that y'all need to start protecting your relationships and protecting yourself from witchcraft. Okay, y'all know that anytime you have any kind of relationship or rite of passage, birth, go to college, somebody cursing and hexing you. Yeah, somebody cursing and hexing you. It always is. I'm just telling you. So, like, for example, it's the same thing when you get a new job, you get into a relationship, and you're just like, la da da, and you don't even think, I need to protect this. You don't even think about that until something happens and a destructive seed gets planted. And sometimes, okay, as a witch, do I believe in fate and destiny to a fault? To a fault. But there's sometimes when there could be better choices. What I'm seeing is somebody throwing something at you that's going to end you up. It's going to lead you to an even worse situation. Does that make sense? Hello, Unique J. And they're seeing it happen in years, but sometimes I sometimes I feel that a lot of these spirit guides, they don't really, time is not a concept for them. So you need to start protecting and warding. You need psychic protection, definitely, because the moon card came up. Don't ask me why, but there are some people, their focus is strictly on using their gifts to screw you over, or to just, they just like to manipulate. Whereas you want to be in a stable relationship. Who wants an unstable relationship? I don't think anybody does. Nobody wants that, right? Like, that's like, no. um but it happens, and you be surprised at what can be done with psychic energy, meditation, Like for me, I personally do not have time to sit around and meditate on some person for any reason, but there's some people that do. And then also, it's not just about meditation. Sometimes people's foresight, that's a psychic power. Foresight is psychic power. This is when someone has a result pre-plotted in their head and they can project that out to you, and this will start to manifest. So protection from that is important. Okay. So is psychic or psychism always directly related to witchcraft? Nope. Nope. And so that goes back to religion. Christians have foresight. They have psychic powers. Religious people. So a lot of people always think, oh, that let's blame it all on the witches. Somebody that did some witchcraft. But sometimes it can be somebody's mind creating things. You'd be surprised at the power of the mind. So that's why you have to make sure that in your foresight, that the outcome, that your outcome will happen. Because when you start seeing visions, and this is 24/7, this is every second of the day, somebody else's foresight, psychic powers are affecting you because they have a focus on you for some reason. Salt comes to mind. And then also my camphor, protection from people's, psychic abilities. Y'all be shocked at how many people come to me to get protection from psychics. And it is very perplexing. Like they may have a grandmother, a father that's very psychic, and their perception or their, and sometimes they will go into meditation. And so, but the thing of it is about witchcraft is that I feel that witchcraft, you know, psychism and divination, is divination the same thing as being a psychic? No, it is not. Okay, thank you, sweetie. So it's not the same. Okay. I feel that witchcraft addresses all of it and it's more thorough because an illusion, sometimes that psychic foresight can only be an illusion, but is it a physical reality? So that's where I think witchcraft for me, and I will always, okay, it will always be that, there's no way that I would sit here and just meditate all day. No. I may even meditate while I'm in ritual or while I'm writing my petition, you know? But as far as just, because if you can't see your outcome all the time, every second of the day, and you're having fears, either they are your own fears or either they are projected fears. And that is a big challenge for a lot of people. So, strength of the mind is very important. But I also think that it requires those physical components like candles, wax, fire. For example, if you have to bind an enemy like that, to bind somebody's psychic powers or to bind somebody, we use salt a lot. you know. In fact, I've used so much dang on salt the past freaking 3 days. Goodness gracious. And tonight I'm gonna have even more salt because it's been a while and I've been playing around and shucking and jiving. I've been shucking and jiving and willy nilly, but I'm getting ready to put my special salt down around every window and doorway in my house because I got some stuff I gotta work on. So, yeah. So that, you can do a lot with salt. Yeah. Oh God, yeah, Jen. Jen, when I come down there to Boston to visit you, yeah, we gon' and there's so many different types of salts. There's volcanic salt, there's brown salt. I've seen brown salt before. There's pink salt, sea salt. Table salt has its powers too. Don't be sleep on that table salt. But sometimes if it's something that calls for sea salt, you just gotta have sea salt. Pink salt is cool. I like the straight up sea salt because the stuff that I've been working on and dealing with called for sea salt. In my opinion, uh, for certain things, sea salt is the best thing. Okay. So, but yeah, and I'm speaking in terms of anything. Salt is not just for protection. Salt is often used during our rituals. Salt is used to uh, ward. We use salt in our wardings. You can use salt to break a curse. Okay. Yeah, I want to try some of that gray Celtic cross salt. I said cross Celtic salt. Yeah. So you know. So later on this evening, I'll be running around here with that salt, doing my rituals tonight on my house. And it's gonna involve salt. So I really feel bad for anybody that tries to throw anything at my house. Don't you do it. Boy. You know what I do? Because a lot of people been asking me about the menstrual blood. People been asking me about the menstrual blood. Oh Lord, listen. You mix some salt and some menstrual blood. Oh, child. This is a very serious situation there. So, yeah, definitely for certain things. But there's so many other tools that I use: shark teeth, sugar, honey. Um, you know. So, but I feel like salt is a powerful foundation. You know, it's purification. What can you do if you don't have a cycle anymore? Very interesting. You made me connect with my old crone self that I am not now yet, but I have been before. A lot of times, if you are a crone, and there is something that you need to do, which I can imagine that there would be circumstances to where if you don't have a cycle, you would need menstrual blood. And I'm not saying you're a crone. I don't know why you don't have a cycle anymore. But you can borrow it if you have somebody that trusts you. As I'm saying, trust is everything. Not too many people are gonna give too many people a little vial of their blood. So it would come from the witch that's doing work for you. Yes, I have used my menses to help my clients. Yes, I have. And it's not, nothing's gonna happen. It's not gonna hurt you as the practitioner from doing that. But see, that's because if your intuition tells you this is gonna hurt me, this is gonna do something that I don't like or something like that, then that's probably what's going to manifest. But if you know that you're good, then you're just good, right? When you know what you're doing and how you're connecting with that work. Oh, you're in menopause. Okay. Usually it would have to, either it could come from a witch or it could come from somebody that you know personally, that feels like they can trust you with that. But most people are not, you can't say to them, hey, do you mind me borrowing a little bit of your menstrual blood? But I can imagine in covens it would be common for the coven members to be so close but trust each other. Like, that's something that's so important. If you in a coven, you got to trust each other. You got to be trustworthy, right? Because if you knew some friends that had it, they could give it to you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And know that they're not going to do anything crazy or deceptive with it. Mhm. So, I had done some offerings of my menstrual blood, and I've got some that's like dried, and you can grind it up and make blood salt with it, blood sugar with it. You can do a lot with it or sprinkle it around places, or I know that's what I'm saying. Y'all need, but you know what? My beginners class, because there's a curriculum. Now, if you ask me about something during class, I will help you with that. But you know what the beginners class is all about? My beginners class is all about protection and the ethics of the craft. If you know the ethics, if you know how to keep it kosher, it's not too much to worry about. When you start going off and doing things that are even unorthodox for witchcraft, oh boy. So yeah, and I can tell you this, that people get into fights, people get into arguments, but whenever you're doing coventry and stuff like that, you ain't supposed to ever betray your coven. Like, stuff happens. Hey, things happen. But there, oh God, there's just no way. There's just no way. If I enter into a coven with somebody, there's no way I would violate them. And it's very sad. It can get quite ugly whenever coven members are not getting along. Okay, okay. Hey, all my friends want to buy a kitty. Okay, so let's get back on your reading. So I'm gonna do a 15-minute reading since people have stepped out of the chat, and there's Not anybody asking any questions. We can go ahead and do your 15 minutes since you want to do it live. There's so many, before we get started, Unique J, that protection really, really goes, it's a thin line between protection, bindings, and warding. Protection is not just, okay, I'm protecting myself. A protection goes very deep. It does. It goes very deep to sometimes you even have to um, do a little bit of binding. And then other stuff, especially if you got yourself a situation. Okay, hold on a second, guys. I gotta text the client back. Okay. All right, we're gonna get back into all my friends want to buy a kitty. My mom is coming. She get married. I think she's getting married. I think she sent him to me. Did all my friends want to buy a kitty? Did her mom send the baby daddy to her? I'm taking it that you do not get along with your mother. Good Lord. Can you give me a yes or no answer? I got a yes. Yeah, your mom did send him to you. What's going on with you and your mom? Why your mama doing that? Good Lord. Oh, she sent him to deceive you. What is wrong with y'all mamas? Come on. Wow. I be seeing stuff that y'all mamas be doing to y'all that I would rather rush up on 1,000 blades than to do to any of my children. Wow. Okay, Unique J, that's cool. You just, when you go to my, you know what, sometimes I think my new website is not very user friendly. When you go to my website, you just click on shop. You know what, PayPal has been telling me to make buttons and stuff. I think I'm gonna do something today to make things a lot easier for y'all. Because on my website, you have to go to shop, categories, and then readings. Okay, cool. I want to make it easy though for people that are confused. Honestly, some of my clients, when they're looking for help, they are partially blind. They may be getting psychically attacked, having really bad anxiety, scared, confused, can't focus, can't concentrate. I take people like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was thinking that I need to do that for people that are, because I've had people contact me. They're like, I need a reading, but I can't think. Can you take my card? Can you take my card number and just, and I actually can process credit card transactions. I've never done it. And I probably need to research that because I know that I can take credit cards by phone, but I kind of feel nervous about doing it anyway. I mean, I can record all of my conversations to cover myself in case but yeah, so some people, when they are going through things and they need help, they need clarity, they need somebody to literally help them. Um, I think that's what kind of Okay, we're not going to cut into. Don't worry about your time, and I got you on the time. All my friends want to buy a kitty. Okay, sorry about that. Unique J, let me finish her reading. Okay. You can either listen either or either the 1 hour reading, which is 77, and then I have another one that's a consultation, which is 77. They're both the same price. I don't know why I put both of them up there. It's so that I could differentiate what you're actually purchasing. But yes, ma'am, you can um get either or, and they both do the same thing because you're basically going to get a reading. The only difference is that with a consultation, we're more so and honestly, I do the same thing with the reading. There is no difference, honestly, because I've had people come to me to get readings and they end up, getting spiritual work. So so yeah, do the consultation. And there's actually a 75-minute consultation up there too, because sometimes these consultations can take longer. So there's a 75-minute one which adds 15 minutes to your reading. And then I have a 2 hour which is musing. That's the one that I suggest that you guys take if you want classes. So I've got a 2 hour. I offer 2 hour sessions as well. Yeah. So whichever one you want to get, you can. Because a lot of people will look, because everybody's always doing stuff so fast and quick, fast, in a hurry. But, I think a lot of people look at that 2 hour session and they're like, 2 hours? Who's going to want to be bothered with me for 2 hours? It's like, no, I sit down with you for 2 hours. Okay. Preferably by Zoom. So I love doing those. Okay. All right. Getting back to my girl. Let's get back to your mother. You would think that I do, but she's very manipulative because did you? I said, did you? And she finished up, I would never send some, and just went on and on and on and on. I didn't even finish my sentence. You know what? I'm going to tell y'all something. The crazy part about it is that the way I see these people is that they're still arranging marriages, but it's almost like a setup. It doesn't happen organically. Like you're not just walking down the street or, walking downtown and you just so happen to run into this perfect stranger that you fall in love with. I have seen and heard of deceitful mothers and fathers sending some man into a woman's life to take advantage of her. Now, I have seen that, sweetie. Yes, ma'am. Do you want me to throw some cards on your mother to see what her issue is? Let's look at that real quick. And I'm sorry I don't have my camera on. Give me a second. I'll do that if that's what you want, so you can see the cards. But I mean, it's no different than if we were on the phone. I'd have to go all the way across the room and get my tripod. People don't usually always have to see the cards because if we're by phone, you can't see the cards. Show me. Okay, sweetie. All my friends want to buy a kitty. Show me her mother. Why? Show me why. What are her thoughts and feelings towards her daughter? Mm. The first card that comes up is the Six of Pentacles upright, but then the Three of Swords comes up upright. The Five of Pentacles comes up in the inverted position. The Empress comes up inverted. Major Arcana, the Empress. Five of Wands comes up upright. So she's not your mother. She's more like an evil stepmother, first of all. Okay. She does not want you to have a better life than her. Now, Everybody always assumes that the Six of Pentacles is just a positive card, and it is depending on the question and depending on the surrounding cards. This Six of Pentacles next to this Three of Swords in the upright position, Six of Pentacles can mean being very giving. It can mean giving oneself service, but it can also mean subserviency. It can also mean sacrificing yourself. So, next to the Three of Swords, that is what she wants. Heartbreak. She's definitely somewhere dwelling in that relationship, making sure that he hurts you. Not to say that his decisions are not his fault. What your spirit guides are saying to me is that what's wrong with him to where he couldn't be strong enough to really feel that love for you and turn into a protector and tell your mama to go to hell. Like, no, I'm not gonna do her like that. I know this woman. I've been with her. I've been intimate with her. I love her. I'm gonna stick by her. I choose her. He's not choosing you. He's choosing this crap over you. So he's had plenty of space and opportunity. She wants you to be taken advantage of. Five of Pentacles inverted. For some reason, that Five of Pentacles next to this Three of Swords, something about your father. She's definitely, first of all, she's delusional because what she is doing, because I know she's still not with your father. We already know that because you typed it in the chat. You said she's getting married. So she's not with your father. She's angry at your father. You are not her child that she loves. You are your father's daughter that fucked up her life. So that's what she's thinking. That's what she's tripping off of. She doesn't, like, a lot of us mothers is like, I don't give a damn what the daddy did. This is my child and you and so that is where a lot of women have difficulty with that. And then especially with her, but I just think that a mother is a mother. A mother is a mother, kind of like a lioness. It's like, you gonna get your ass away from my cubs. This is my child. I don't care what you did, whatever. Go away then, whatever. Bye. Oh, you don't want to be here with me no more. You want to try to the child stays here, and a lot of these mothers are not doing that. So that's what she's on. She's basically torturing you for retribution for your father. Hmm. Well, thank you, sweetie. Yeah. So that, I mean, it happens a lot, but I can see it very clearly with the Empress inverted. Her allowing you to grow into the Empress that you're meant to be of your own right is not, she doesn't want to let that happen, because to her she only sees your father and she has hatred and visceral for your father. There's a difference between growing up with there's a difference between a mother that will say our home is broken versus a mother that will say no, my home is not broken. I am going to be the chariot. I'm strong enough. I have to be. I'm not going to let this man, because I can imagine that your father, he made some mistakes. There's a whole story behind what happened with your father. And I can even see other women, your mother not necessarily protecting you from the negativity from those other women, her being very selfish. So there's other people at play. There's other energies. Okay. So she's definitely a failure of a mother. But then she took it even further. She took her treachery even further. You probably ain't gonna never be able to trust your mother. Just saying. You know, I have to be honest. You know. Then we got the five of wands in the upright position. So if good things were to happen for you, she would be very jealous. Yeah. Oh, your mother's definitely narcissistic. Oh God, what is up with all these narcissistic? What year was your mother born? Is she a baby boomer? See, that's what I'm talking about. Oh God, girl. And so, I think that you should go back to the root, because a lot of times when we're dealing with generational curses, you're dealing directly with the parents sometimes. And sometimes you may be dealing with the grandparents. Sometimes you could, but it's, you know, in probably about 90% of the cases that I have seen, it has been either some kind of dysfunction, deception, or either neglect that is being put on to the children that created or was a manifestation of a generational curse. Hey, Miss Fairy. Hey, love. All my friends want to buy a kitty. They're not necessarily paid readings, but all my friends want to buy a kitty. She sent me $22 to do a 15-minute for her live. Yes, how you been doing? Thank you, Miss Fairy. So it happens. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the women in the family competing with the women, the girls, the nieces, the especially your daughters. Your mother is in competition with you. Um, yeah, she's in competition with you, which is crazy. So it's like a perversion of a mother. Like, mothers should not ever be in competition with their daughters. Yeah. No, you're fine. I'm glad you're here, Miss Fairy. How are you, love? I love that picture too that you have up. I love that. My Gemini neighbor is now trying to destroy my life too over my baby daddy. Let's look at your baby daddy and what's in his heart. Because I'm gonna tell you something. For a man to go to a woman with this kind of premeditated treachery, he's either got to be curious or a piece of crap himself. Okay. Women that come, let me gather up my cards. Women that come from narcissistic mothers, men should not take advantage of that. And so, yeah, he's more than likely a predator. Just it may be innate in him. But he needs to change, because if you start calling to your ancestors and stuff and you start doing work on that situation, boy, they gonna be spitting mad. Mm-mm-mm. Spirit guides. All my friends wanna buy a kitty. Her baby daddy, what's in his heart towards her? Oh God. The star card inverted. Yeah. The lovers inverted. Knight of Wands inverted. The Wheel of Fortune comes up upright. And then the Devil inverted. So what I'm seeing with him, and like I said, I already can see he's a friggin' parasite, sweetie. This is a cycle of narcissism. This is the reason why narcissists do the cycle that they do. They build you up, they build you up, they build you up, they build you, they build you, they build you. At that moment that they drop you, abandon you, hurt you, do something, at that time, that's them feeding, getting the supply, the energy. That's how the narcissist demon works. So he'll build you up only to let you down, but it's because he's trying to take something from you. Well, that's good because he up to no good. So that that's God telling him like but I feel like he is there to the star card inverted is when you first of all, I can already see that he paints you in a very negative light to people, talks really bad about you to people, just is very down on you. Wants to take everything that you are, anything good about yourself, and twist it and pervert it. And at the same time, he's stealing your life force, and he thinks that he's going to make himself better. So in a sense, he's trying to sacrifice you, but it's not any better. He's been having the worst luck. You would think that they would learn the lesson. Like, hello, you keep trying to take advantage of this woman, and shit keeps, like, literally pitchforks keep falling out of the sky and up your ass. They still don't. Yeah, they still don't, they just don't get it. It's like you're not going to get anywhere with that. Like, you may have a short-lived good time. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh goodness gracious, what am I gonna do? Incel TV will. My name is not Mill Mill. Okay, so I'm gonna put you in timeout, hun. My name is not Mill Mill, and I don't like it when people nickname me. No, it's either High Priestess Jamila or Jamila. My name has never been Mill Mill. Oh, he's feeding off of you, period. I got the Knight of Wands in the inverted position. His energy functions as a parasite, very parasitic. The Lovers inverted pretty much means where it probably was love there, but it's false love. It's like a pretend love. You know what I'm saying? Now, this Wheel of Fortune is in the upright position. So he is seeming to bring out good things in you, but he takes it from you whenever he does. So he's not just feeding off of your pain and your confusion, he's feeding off of your strength. Main aspect that y'all want to keep in mind is that when you enter into the spiritual world, the first thing you want to look at is self. Then you want to look at what's around you. Do you need to protect yourself from what's around you? What do you need to get rid of that doesn't serve your purpose or is harming you? But then also after that, you want to have the element of the ancestors. Okay, you want to have the element of the ancestors, the protection of the ancestors. So that means that you're going to go out and seek that after you found your own higher self. But then also then there's deity. What deity is coming to me right now? If you don't know, Or what deity do I need to make contact with? Because they don't always just show up. So when you look at the whole gamut of it, you want to have your foundation. You got to have that foundation. If you don't have that foundation, then you can be lost, not know what you're doing, totally lost. Um, and your mother, here's what spirit is telling me, is that your mother has purposely tried to cut you off from ancestors that can be a big help to you. Okay. Anything that would be a help to you. So that's why you have to sometimes go and seek those ancestors so that they can help you. And what they'll do is they'll just try to throw problem after problem after problem after problem after problem so that you'll have to deal with what's on the surface. All these problems, problems, problems. So they're trying to disconnect you, not just from the ancestral spirit, but they also want to disconnect you from earth and nature, which are the things that can heal both your mind, body, and your spirit. So you have to find the time out of that time that the chaos is happening to connect. Many people think that it's about destroying somebody. Go destroy them. Well, it's not about destroying that person or even killing that person. It's not about that. It's about, hey, this person is doing stuff. It's a distraction, it's an obstacle. The communion that I have with this person is not serving me. You know, it's harming me. It's not giving me any enlightenment or camaraderie. So, what the ancestors will do, and especially the witchy ancestors, so then there is the creation of the guardians. Especially when you were a kid, a lot of people can create these guardians that, you know, and they're not mythical necessarily. It's not a myth. You've created that guardian and you can invoke that guardian whenever you want to stand in front of a person like a freaking statue and say, "No, you're not going to touch my person." But see, a lot of people are so wrapped up and their head is full of stuff, and see, that's why I said that within itself can be so harsh, and you have to think of these ways to do it. But, you have to be on a path to where, I would say justice. I would say it's not just energy, but then it's also, you got to take back your power. Yeah, you do need to work on self-esteem. Yes, but you also, your light has been stolen, hun. Your light, that's been stolen. And it's not that he has it, because he doesn't has it. He doesn't have it. I'm gonna tell y'all the metaphysical process of what's happening when somebody tries to steal your energy or steal your shine. They disconnect it from you. They remove it from your spiritual body, and it kind of like it gets stuck. It's lingering by you. They can't take it. They're going to spend their whole life trying to take somebody else's. Why they don't feel that they have their own, I don't know. And whenever they do that, it does what? It causes stagnation. Causes stagnation. Okay. Causes things to slow down for you, your spiritual progression, the place, because everything happening physically is a spiritual manifestation. I don't care what nobody says. Yeah, there are some things that, yes, you do have to use. You do have to make sure that you have the legal aspect taken care of, which is still considered to be the mundane. Yes. Okay, you don't want to be innocent of a murder and go into the murder trial without an attorney or your case gathered, the evidence. You want to make sure you got that going on, but you also want to have the spiritual aspect taken care of. Okay, hold on, y'all. Y'all gonna hear me rummaging through papers because I gotta find my tea lights. Oh, and here they are. So, oh yeah, they do steal time too. Yep. Can't finish projects, feeling pulled in a lot of different directions. And your mother is the type of mother that just kind of threw you out to the wolves and said, there you go. And sometimes when they do that, I would never do that. I'm a Cancer. By the way, what's your mom's zodiac sign? I'm curious. I don't even think that being a Cancer has anything to do with it. I mean, I don't think that I coddle my children. I don't believe that I coddle my children, but I'm always there. I'm like, whatever. I mean, I give them their privacy. I ain't trying to tap in or nothing like that, into their energy. But I'm not like overbearing, nosy, but like anything. It's just the way that I am. Oh, she's an Aquarius. Okay. Aquariuses are typically good mothers, but they do have a tendency sometimes to be a bit controlling. So your father and you are Pisces, and so is my daughter. Let me ask you a question about your father. Do you ever discuss this with him? I know it's difficult to go because you know what? It's very frustrating when you can see something is happening and what the evildoers will do is they'll just say, "Oh, you're paranoid. Oh, you're delusional." Oh, I'm not doing that because they don't want you to know that they're, doing, sneaky stuff. They say, "Oh, you're totally delusional." And people have gotten delusional. You can't always think everybody in the world is out to get you. When you start thinking like that, that's when you better get ready for the asylum to where everybody bad. And that's not the truth. Now there are a lot of bad people. But y'all ever experience knowing when something is happening spiritually, but then you can't actually go and talk to anybody about it? Like, I think that's the worst thing when you can't sit down, even as a family, and say, hey, I noticed that this is happening in spirit, that is happening in spirit, this is happening in spirit, and what are we going to do? Everybody, usually in your family, is going to look at you like you are a damn three-headed dragon. You know what I'm saying? He said, wow, I think she's trying to destroy me years ago. Like, oh, she knows. Yeah. Was he talking about himself or you? Mm. So you got a misogynistic dad and oh girl. Well, you know what? It's not you don't have to lose hope in that. Plenty of people, like some of the most well balanced people came from, the thing of it is that we're taught to carry on some kind of identity or to be a replica of our parents, and you don't have to be that. You know what I'm saying? So you're grown now, you know what I'm saying? You made it through. They didn't sacrifice you in flesh to a pack of dogs, because even if they did, you would still be here, just only in spirit. Okay, he said, wow. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Like, oh, she knows. Okay. Like, yeah. And so I was getting the feeling that your father's way too complacent on that. I was getting that feeling that he dropped the ball. For you to say he's a misogynist, that means that he doesn't like women. So that means that he doesn't like you, his daughter. He doesn't really care. So okay, I get what you're saying. You got to excuse me. I'm kind of slow when it comes to the chat. So yeah, he said, "Wow, like you know that? Like how the hell does she know that? She know?" And they probably called each other. She knows. She knows everything. I don't know how she knows. And so, and then they start playing these stupid games. Like, okay, I already know that you don't want to drink sun fluid under the sun with me. Like you just really want me to be screwed up. You know what I'm saying? You just God, you know what I mean? Ah, yeah. Well, it's very common for both. A lot of times people will think that it is one person. And then when one of the parents passes on, they'll almost make you feel, when the other parent flips, that, oh, this is just God. And now whatever is happening to you, it jumped from your mother and now it's in your father or and you're just, everything is going to be torn down and destroyed. You're destroyed, destroyed, destroyed. I'm going to destroy you. Just, but in reality, they was in on it together at the same time. There had to have been some kind of meeting of the mind about that. And especially if he sat back and allowed it. So it's not like spirit is saying, "Oh, you're just meant to be," but a lot of people, if you take that, if that's what you take from it, then that's what you're going to get. It's your choice. I feel like you would be a good candidate to start working with Lilith as a foundation. I'm going to finish your reading out because I think anybody else have any questions, or if you want to schedule, you guys are more than welcome. But I feel that Lilith would be good because she's all about independence and freedom from all of that. Because let's face it, our parents, they have a profound effect on our lives. There are some parents that give their children the world. And you know what? Those children don't even always appreciate it. But a lot of times those children do appreciate it. They just, they raise their kids in love, and they those and some of them, depending on their path, are doing very well. They know that they have that powerful foundation and they have supportive parents. But there are some people that don't have that. And that is why there needs to be someone that understands that and helps. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And I do believe that this entity or demon doesn't like me, because it's like, no, you can't do that. But in reality, obviously I wouldn't be doing it if I couldn't do it. And I'm unstoppable. So whatever. You can't stop me from doing what I'm doing, because obviously, in the grand scheme of things, somebody wants these forgotten and lost and thrown away children to be saved and loved. They don't deserve to continue to be abandoned and done wrong and tortured and not given any love. in this life and to not know how it feels to have someone actually care about them. Okay. Caucasian neighbor trying to destroy you. What do you want to know, if she's racist or something? Um, I believe she's out for blood. This Gemini was a friend. I intuitively cut her off because I believe she was sleeping with my baby daddy. I get a feeling a complete cycle. Am I wrong? What about the neighbor? What messages do you have for all my friends want to buy a kitty? Do you have about the neighbor? Page of Cups inverted. Five of Cups upright. The Queen of Pentacles upright. Six of Wands upright. And then the Empress inverted. Oh, you can. You know what? It's funny how every time I'm reading a Gemini, I can see the good and the bad. So on one side of this person, you can tell that whoever this is, they have a lot. Whoever she is, she's having a lot of pain. Definitely Five of Cups. The reason why she slept with your baby daddy is because she wanted to hurt you. So that's first of all, she just wanted you to experience that pain. But then also, what I can tell is, as far as your children, something about your children is coming out with this Six of Wands and the Empress. And then what comes up next? Judgment inverted. And she definitely does see you as like the sacrificial lamb. Yeah. Do you have a son? No, this is your baby daddy. The crazy part about it is that she doesn't really care about your baby daddy either. He don't care about her. He don't care about nobody. Very emotionally disconnected. All of these people that you're talking about, and they have a total inability to love. Yeah, they. I mean, it's just all hate and duty. Eh, You know, Six of Wands comes up for her in the upright position, and then the Empress. So, did you okay? You're a Pisces. Queen of Pentacles. Why is this here? Why is this Queen of Pentacles here upright? Is this an ancestor of all my friends want to buy a kitty? Yes or no? Yeah, it's an ancestor. You've got an ancestor that is protecting you from her. And I don't believe that you're even in touch with this ancestor. Yeah. This ancestor is around, but if you were to work with this ancestor, whoever this Queen of Pentacles is upright, is definitely protecting you from her. But she's definitely targeting you, the neighbor, but she's also planning to destroy your baby daddy. She's like a black widow. So that's your Virgo grandmother. That must be who I'm seeing. Then I did, sometimes I just see them. I don't see exactly who they are, but if that's who you feel that is, that's who that is. And so she's really helping you. But I feel like a lot of the times when ancestors don't really mean anything if you are not working with them, because even though ancestors are there, they can keep you alive, they can keep you functioning, and they even feed the situation. But with what you're dealing with what you're dealing with, what's happening is that all of that wisdom and power is pretty much being sucked out of you. So you don't benefit from it in this physical reality. When you do an ancestor altar, that is a physical manifestation of that ancestor. So, for example, if you put gold or diamonds on your ancestor altar, that is a very lucrative and physical manifestation of that ancestor. And these are things that are going to bring certain energies and vibrations. And it doesn't even have to be diamonds or gold. A lot of stones can represent the ancestors and it'll bring that energy in because, that's what's happening as far as like, okay, you're here, but are you fulfilled? And the answer is no. So, so they can only do so much. It's essentially things that you're going to have to do for yourself because they're not necessarily here. Unique J, you said what? I saw your chat. It's okay for you to chat. You said, don't be sad, girl. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all waste too much time being sad over stuff, man. That's why I always try to welcome y'all to the wonderful world of witchcraft because I think that there are some things that when it comes to the craft, it may be something that you have to, none of us witches are saying, oh, you just do this and this is going to cover you for the rest of your life. And, no, you may have to do it once a month. It may be something that you have to work at, but it will help you a lot. It will. Isn't there a business that you've been trying to start? All my friends want to buy a kitty. There's a business that you like to start. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know why people get so hinty when women start businesses. That's so silly because what that does is it creates even more money. It doesn't take away. So there's a business that you wanted to start and you've been stuck in that. Okay. See, goodness, great. Three of Pentacles fell out and the Page of Pentacles inverted just fell out before I could even start shuffling. So yeah, Three of Pentacles represents a business, represents starting a business, but there is definitely a spirit that is around you that pretty much blocks that. Now, I let me see what this business is. Is it a hair business? It's got to be some kind of hair business or makeup business or something because the Hierophant came out inverted. What is it though? Because the moon came up, the Hierophant came up, the Nine of Swords came up inverted, the Temperance card came up inverted, and the Chariot card came up inverted. So I already can see that you are afraid to step into the snake pit once again because the Nine of Swords to me represents the internet. And a lot of businesses are on the internet, a lot of them. But then there's also competitors and all sorts of people that's on the internet as well. And so that, people are watching. Big Brother is watching. And it's extremely scary for people, but you got to do it. You got to know what to do to protect yourself. Yeah, there are some unsavory characters out there. If you go out in social media and you're obviously successful and you are sharing with the public your home, many people do it. People ain't gonna like that. See, I could see that by the moon card and the Hierophant. Yeah. Some kind of beauty business that was like a woman field. Oh, if you only knew the attacks, the how people were just, oh wow. There was a lady that literally got murdered. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to let you know what's out there. She got murdered because she was successful. A young lady in her 20s had a baby. They shot her down in her salon. I just wish that I could have been there to tell her to take some wood betony and some black mustard seeds to try to prevent that from happening. She probably wouldn't have listened to me anyway, but you know, who knows? It could have helped or it didn't. She gone now. She gone. They shot her because they came and robbed her and stole a bunch of her hair weave, and she reported it to the police, and she knew who these people were. Happened in DC. So when you go out there and you have these businesses, you have to not only physically protect yourself, but you have to spiritually protect yourself, because everybody ain't out there playing fair, and everybody probably shouldn't have came out to play with everybody else. Hair literally, really? Okay, Unique J. Hair, like you see how these cards, because you know what told me that it was a hair business really was in this deck. The moon card has the sun rays, and I could just see a head, and I, instantly I knew it was hair. Yeah, you got to protect yourself. I think that's a great field for women. My grandmother, she when she retired from her job at the post office, she actually opened up her own salon in her basement, and she helped a lot of people too. She did. Now I believe that relaxers, would it be a natural hair business? There's a lot of things that can cause cancer, but I believe it's something about those relaxers and stuff that I just don't trust them. So, but I'm wondering if but if you only do natural hair, then you can potentially limit your business if you don't, because some people don't want to wear their natural hair. Some people like the creamy crack. We call it creamy crack. And so, but I would wear masks. You need to wear a gas mask. And so I don't even want to breathe in perm fumes. I'd rather smoke a pack or two of cigarettes per day than breathe in that chemical. Okay, let alone what I put it on my scalp. The only thing that touches my scalp is maybe shampoo, conditioner, and oils, and some creams. Online hair extensions. Okay, so you don't want to exactly do the hair, you just want to sell the product, and that's that too. I have a friend that sells things online, and she was in here. I don't know if she's still here, but somebody was literally attacking her from behind the computer because she's trying to sell her stuff. Like, where their money goes, there's going to be some hate there, and you got to know how to deal with that hate, because it's always going to be somebody there seething in hatred. And you got to either be able to block or filter or do something with that energy. Literally attacking my sister because she's online trying to sell her stuff. Psychic attacks, of course. Mm-hmm. Ain't that a trip? So they always find you. They do. Well, whenever you're ready to do that, just consider that I do offer money workings to business owners. Okay, that's cool, hun. Yes. But I do offer spiritual work as well as protection for business owners because they are under like small, medium, large, all businesses are under attack. All of them. All of them. But but I think it's more devastating to small businesses. So that's why I feel like businesses should try to operate as ethically as possible. hmm But I do offer spiritual support for small businesses as well as practical advice because I've been through just about everything in my business. Okay, I've been through just about everything. So, Okay, and I guess no one else has any questions. There's 14 people in the chat. If y'all could hit the thumbs up for me, I'd appreciate that. I've been here for 3 hours. I think that that's enough. But if you guys have any additional questions, or if y'all want to know how to schedule a reading, can my neighbor win? Of course she can if you let her. Or are you gonna mother yourself and be a mama bear to your cubs and let her win? And I think also the question should be, is she doing spiritual work? Well, everybody's doing spiritual work, even if she's not doing witchcraft intentionally. Some people, whatever spirits are in them or whatever makes up their self is acting and functioning and either affecting you negatively or positively. Okay. So, what the heck? Why can't I? Sorry, y'all, I had to snorkel. I don't know why I can't push that button. That's so weird. Okay, there we go for some reason. Well, that's why I'm saying right now with all of these, you know, with all of this stuff happening spiritually, that's why I was saying, the bull crap got to be cut out because all that does is distract you and it makes it even worse. It throws off your focus and everything. Yeah, you said so much has been taken from you. You got to protect your stuff. You got to protect your energy. Hey, Jasmine. Yes, I'm still live. Yes, ma'am. I was actually just about to wrap it up. Oh, Kate says, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I kind of, I like doing live readings, but honestly, it's best to keep those things private. You're welcome, sweetie. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I don't think anybody else has any questions for me. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, as far as like with the whole spiritual thing, it's just like, hey, listen, this is my will, this is my space, this is and I'm not gonna let you what do you call that? Throw me off my path. Oh, Jasmine. Oh, you about to go again? You said have a great rest of your day. Okay, probably because you thought I was leaving. I got a question for you. And I think I may find this answer in your book of flight. So I'm going to start reading it when I get off of here. I promise. Because I feel like there's something in there that I need. And um I just recently did some really good psychic protection so that I can actually focus on your book. Does it cover anything about path work? Like as far as when you are on the path and path work as far as like, because for me, I feel like there's a crossroads, right? And I feel like sometimes it's even like this triangular thing. Like it's like all these different paths around you. And you're going down your path, which in your path, you're on the path to where you want to be. Either at that moment, you're taking steps, and what you see at the finish line at that time is goal, right? Do you feel that it's a thing that another person can come in and put you on a different path, like literally take you off your path and lead you down a road? Okay, it'll lead you down a road that is like, what is this? And your intuition is telling you, what is this? I feel like this is unfamiliar. Things that I'm used to happening are not happening. What is going on? And do you feel that that is created? Well, I watched a very good video about hot foot magic or some kind of magic to where your path can be led off into some kind of destruction, which seems unfair. But is I feel like, is it a combination of psychic intent, or does it have to have like a physical aspect of it? Because sometimes I felt like, okay, I'm on my path and then now I'm in the twilight zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't feel familiar. It doesn't speak to my soul. It makes my heart feel. And then also, I'm wondering if that has anything to do with switching destinies. So, you being on your path that you created, but then are there people out there that can do work to say, no, I'm going to take your path, which I think it's just so silly to me. I but wow, I think I because I feel like you can do anything that you put your mind to, right? But I feel like, why would a person have to put somebody else on a destructive path, and then now they're going down their path and they're like, and it's like, oh, okay, I see that this path that you created, boy, this is genius. You were able to, and it's created all of that's in your pathway. Now all of a sudden what you created, you're not seeing it anymore, what you can see. And I do think that it has something to do with foresight. So like for me, when it comes to my psychic abilities and what I can see just naturally, there's levels to it. Like it's what's right in front of you, but then it's also what's out in the extended future. So like for example, if somebody said, Jamila, I need you to do a reading for me. I need for you to tell me what's going to happen in a week, what's going to happen at this time and at this time going further out. And if we see anything negative, is it that person that has this in their foresight And I do think that that's sort of like the secret of magic, but I think that it's easier said than done for you to literally put it in your foresight to where no, this is stony. This is written in stone. This is going to happen because it either you know, something has been done to make it happen, right? But then if you see anything different, what is happening there, right? So I think that it's important to figure out how to protect your energy, but then also to protect your path. So what do you think of that? Like, I don't know if you're still here. Kate Renzo says she needs some psychic protection. Why do you think you need psychic protection? Are you picking up on other people's thoughts? Do you feel like people are psychically attacking you? Because I can tell you that, yeah, we actually just did some psychic protection yesterday. Hmm. We just did psychic protection yesterday. Hmm. Yeah, okay, cool. See, that's why I can rock with you. Yeah. And you know what? I believe that it is one of the things that affects people's outcome a lot of the times. And I think that you have to look at the entire gamut of it, and it starts with self. And then even maybe there are like these different doorways to various realities that are open, and then the ones that are negative, they just need to be closed. Mm-hmm. Yep. So you're picking up on other people's thoughts and they're very negative. um right off the bat, Renzo, if somebody can control how you think, and if they can control what you see, they can control your reality, they can control your mind. So you are picking up on other people's thoughts, but I believe that those are projections. Somebody is projecting that thought, and I call it impure thoughts. Any negative thought form or thought process, that's a impure thought to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel ancestor veneration helps a lot with path working, assuming connected to want to help you. Not every ancestor is a god of benevolence. Discernment is a skill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because and then also there could be false ancestors too. But I think that for me, my connection with the ancestors, definitely when it comes to the ancestors, I will do money work with the ancestors. Yes, I will. I'll do money work with them. But I think that like at the basics of it, it's kind of like that spiritual protection is needed, because an ancestor that is really spiritually protecting you, they're going to protect you in the astral, and they're going to kick ass in the astral. They're going to kick ass for you in the spirit realm. And you can tell because people get mad. Boy, people get mad. Because I'm going to tell you something. When I call to my grandfather, Nate, like if I light a candle and call my grandfather, Nathaniel, he is right there with his dog, Midnight, and my grandmother, my great grandmother, not my grandfather. He's my great grandfather. And he can't be trapped either. His spirit is too strong for that. It is. Yes, it is. And we've been talking about that a lot, getting the ancestor altars up and working with the ancestors, especially if you are experiencing some kind of financial difficulty. And I can tell you that that is absolutely correct, because when I threw my spread for myself today, prior to going live, I was definitely told by just guides, which is not just like your relationship with a deity. Like Lilith is not just going to say, oh, just work with me. Lilith doesn't do that. Lilith herself told me, work with your ancestors as well. So that's how I know the connection is there, because she's not going to steer me wrong. She's going to tell me, she's not going to say, "Oh, I'm the alpha and the omega." No, Lilith actually told me to call to my ancestors as well. She did. And so, that's what I was instructed to do, to give me that clarity of the ancestors. What do you think, Jasmine, about, have you ever experienced, oh yeah, and Lilith is an ancestor of mine too, but I definitely feel that she's an ancestor to me. Um, in fact, I feel that she's been with me for a very long time. Yeah. But here's another question. Do you believe that, have you ever experienced having an ancestor, but then someone trapping that ancestor? Like, have you ever heard of that in your, like in your practice, or, along your practice? Have you ever had like a powerful ancestor? Like, Lilith is a deity. She can't be trapped, right? In fact, Lilith was the one that told me, a couple of your ancestors has been trapped and they need you to help them. She's actually told me that. But have, like like the other ancestors, you know what I'm saying? The others, you know what I mean? Have you ever felt like people have tried to take your ancestors and separate you from them? Yeah, yeah. I know that's right. You know what I did? I realized that for me as a witch, as far as for me, that I needed to actually do some kind of ancestor protection for the ancestors. And so that the veneration thing, I do have an understanding of it, but I think that my understanding um got a whole lot, it expanded. My understanding of veneration actually expanded beyond my understanding of it. And when I realized that, I was like, okay, because for some reason I wasn't sensing my grandmother's spirit, and I just knew she was not here. And I was like, what is going on? And then when I looked for her, she was trapped somewhere until I was able to release her. And then I realized, okay, I need to put like some kind of symbol of protection on my ancestor altar. And I even noticed that for some reasons, things specifically about my grandmother, now her picture has not moved. Ever since I put my grandmother's father's picture on my ancestor altar, my grandmother's picture has not moved. But before I put his picture on her altar, it seemed like her picture would fall over, it would fall down, it would get knocked over. It was really very strange. You've had ancestors trap other ancestors. See, these are things that I would like to either come up on your panel or you come up on my panel one day. And like, I'd like to hear all about that. Or if it's in your book, I'll read about it. Yeah. Because that's very interesting. Other ancestors trap other ancestors. Interesting. Do you think that maybe they were doing that because it was something that you needed to learn? Because some of the experiences that I have had, like not some of them, all of them that I have had, especially when it comes to how I craft my magic, I feel like some of the issues and problems that I've had to a fault were kind of done that way so that I can learn and help others with that. Like I feel like, like an issue will get thrown at me and it's like it'll throw me for a loop. But then I'll start getting the wisdom and the understanding of how to do that. Because, when you're out here helping people with spiritual work, you have to actually know what you're doing. So, for example, in my practice, even though I personally have never had an issue with housing difficulty ever, ever. I mean, not like not my mother, not my grandmother would ever like homelessness and things like that. No. And but I do have clients that have that issue to where they're displaced. And so I've had to learn what to do, like what that is all about because I feel let me know, girl, all you got to do is either email me a link or text me a link on Instagram. Let me know whenever you're ready because I would love to do that. I think some of it was a way to prevent descendants from walking the path of craft. Yeah, because and yeah, I do believe that a lot of our ancestors do have like it's like they try to force their beliefs on you. So yeah, I do know about bad ancestors as well. Luckily, with my great grandfather, he was married to a witch, so he's totally down with the witches. But I have picked up on ancestors that are just like, oh, she's practicing that witchcraft, and so. But with my great grandfather, I have a direct connection to witchcraft because his wife was a witch. So when I called to him, my great grandmother is right there with him. She's like right there with him. By the time my grandmother came into the world, and then what with her journey, my grandmother was Christian. Okay, my grandmother Lena, she was Christian, and she was actually she just but she actually was very interested and she was into astrology a lot, right? But my grandmother, even in spirit, she was never one of the type of people to try to control my path. So that's why I love working with her. And she was like one of the people in my life that loved me more than anybody, more than anything. She was excellent, and a provider and just somebody that showed me a lot of love, taught me how to cook. I think that my grandmother, she didn't call herself a witch per se, but she never spoke bad about it, because there was rumors that her mother was a witch, but she didn't, I never saw my grandmother like doing what is considered witchcraft, but yeah, we can do it tonight if you want. I can work in between readings because I do have a couple of what's today? Today Tuesday or Wednesday? Lord, I done lost track of it out there. I believe today is hump days, Wednesday. So okay, that's cool. You know what, Jasmine? I feel like it is gonna be triggering, but honestly, I welcome you triggering me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been watching your channel for the past 4 years. So, and sometimes I like to be triggered because I'm always looking for new information that can help me, like being triggered, like especially if it triggers emotions sometimes, like okay, I don't, I don't like the energy of, oh, I'm just trying to hurt, when people will try to trigger you or whatever. But if it's something that's going to enlighten me or either help me release something or help something come from within me. Because see, here's the thing about me, I'm a Cancer. If something triggers an emotion in me, I welcome that because I'm a Cancer, and we are connected with the emotions and the moon and the freaking ocean and all that stuff, right? Yes. Yeah, and you have grown so much. Yes, ma'am. And I've even watched a lot of your older stuff too, because it's the kind of content that I'm looking for. And it's not a bunch of drama. I honestly like the drama, yes, but as long as it has a purpose. Like, I don't just like drama, e. I like for it to be some kind of resolution of the drama, and that's what your energy brings in. That's what you're in. No, I saw you go through your stuff, and every single time, because it was almost like you reminded me of me, every single time you had a resolution. It was like it was not just drama, and I can't make sense of it. No, like it actually made sense. So that's why I've been watching you for a long time. But back to what I was saying about being a Cancer. But crying, and you know what? I just saw somebody that I'm sub to, and people don't like to cry because they associate it with weakness. And so with me, if it's something that sparks that emotion because I'm a Cancer, it doesn't make me a masochist. It's not that I just enjoy pain. No, it's just that I'm good at processing it very easily. Right. So if something were to trigger me, and if it were to bring that emotion out, to me, that's growth because it helps me think. Now, I don't want nobody just abusing me and just like, da, like I don't need all that. But sometimes something that is being said that it's either intentionally or unintentionally meant to trigger me, whether or not, because everything to me, I know how to transmute it. That's actually one of my spiritual gifts, is transmutation. Okay. So that's how I'm always able to turn a positive outcome to a negative. And that is, to me, one of my greatest gifts that God gave to me. Yeah. And so a lot of people associate crying with weakness, and it's not. It's a gift, especially if there's something, like if I pull the 7 of Cups for you, for a person, and I just keep pulling the 7 of Cups and keep pulling it, my Cancer brain is going to tell me, especially if I can feel that emotion building up, go ahead and cry and let it out. That's why a lot of people, when they come to me to get readings, they just be crying. I'll be like, it's okay, let it out. But there's so many people that look at crying as weakness and very judgmental of that. But and so a lot of people will look at Cancers as these emotional vampires, but in reality, we're helping people because if your heart hurts, and it's because you've been holding it in for so long, crying is actually a sign of transmuting that negative energy that's been hurting. And it just, so for me, the way that I process it, and so some people, thank you, Jasmine, I think of you that way too, because I love it. Like your energy is so nurturing and calming. I love you so much. um and so that is a sign of healing. And I think that we should heal, like not be on the verge of healing, not be almost healing, but if there's a wound, it should heal. If there's a wound, heal it, you know? I know that's what that yeah, I was gonna say that too. So, but not too many, there's some people that are different. They're not like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and they're and I think that the longer people hold that pain inside of them, the worse it hurts. Because if you've been holding in the pain from something for so long, because I've actually had things that did hurt me, and I held that pain in for so long that when I finally did cry it out, and I was on my own, I was alone when I did it. But when I finally cried it out, it hurt. It was very painful. My nose got all stuffy. I felt dizzy. I was like, oh my God. And it was just like grueling pain. But when I got through it, it was a heal. I realized I said, this is a healing process that it and I healed from it, from what that thing was. And it's something that, I don't feel that I have to hurt anymore over. You know what I mean? So I'm not the type of person that wants people to stay in their pain. And I've seen people that are like that. And then there's some things that, and I think that a lot of people get pain confused with nostalgia. Like sometimes and then also they, sometimes I will start to shed tears when I think about my grandmother, and when I think about the joy that she brought into my life growing up. When I think about her, just everything about her house. But it's not about a physical location of her house. Because my grandmother's old house is over in Kansas City, Missouri. So I can't always go and visit, even though I do want to go visit. And I should be able to go back and visit my hometown whenever I want. But because for some reason I've just kind of, and I'm going to change that very soon, because I have to be able to go and visit my grandmother's house, because it's still being kept in my family, right? Because, my uncle lives at my grandmother's house. Okay. And so I already know that when I go over there, when I do visit, that I'm just gonna cry, but it's not gonna be tears of pain, because there's no painful memories associated with that. It's nothing but joy, especially when my grandmother was alive and she was there. And some of the most, just precious moments, it just, oh my God, you know. And I've always trusted my grandmother. Nobody can tell me that I can't trust my grandma. Nobody. Because she did nothing but, she didn't just, here's the thing about my grandmother. She didn't just take care of us. She didn't just go to the grocery store and buy us food every couple of days. And because my grandmother would go to the grocery store, and she would pull up in the driveway and we heard the horn honk, we would come out and get the groceries. No, my grandmother not only provided food and shelter, but also love and wisdom. She was, to me, in my opinion, she was perfect. Can't nobody speak negatively about my grandmother. She did everything fucking right. So maybe some of her children didn't feel that way, but my relationship with her as my grandmother was just that. So can't nobody come and tell me, oh, your grandmother didn't love you. No, I know my granny loved me. You know what I'm saying? And so, and still does. Still does. Okay. So, but yeah, when it comes to that, like I can sit here and watch a movie and be touched by a movie, just a happy moment. I cry at weddings. I cry at weddings. I don't really like crying at funerals, even though I have, and it's very painful and it sucks. I cry at births, but it's because it's touching, you know what I'm saying? But I think that people should learn how to regulate their emotions. And when you get somebody like me that's trying to do that in a world, and literally like we're swimming in a sea of people that always want to hide their emotions, and they don't want to own their emotions, and they don't know how to process their emotions, and I can feel it, and I'll shy away from people like that because I can't deal with that. I can't deal with people that have not released themselves either from their own negative emotions, or either they haven't been able to release or transmute that. Like it just, because if I, I can go through that. Like if I'm dealing with a client or a friend, I know automatically I have to be strong for that person, and I'll go through that with them. But to just sit and be in pain and just loathing and just not releasing yourself to the point where it turns to hate. I can't do that. And I don't even think that I was, I think that if they were to label me as a goddess, you know how people like I would say that I would be considered a goddess of transmutation, transformation, because that's one of my strengths is transmutation. And it's something that my spirit is constantly trying to do, change the negative into a positive, you know. And so it was kind of destined for me to be a person that is mainly focused on that, which is why I love you so much, Jasmine, because I found that you are always on point as far as like with the craft and just because but um I feel like witchcraft within itself, you is sometimes you have to go down that road of transformation and magic and wonder and power and victory. But then also there's times when you have to deal with the bad, you know. And so but yeah, transmuting that stuff is so important. Now I think that's why so many people got heart problems, and they don't want to listen to me, you know. They don't want to listen to me, about that. You know how they say, oh, high blood pressure is the silent killer and your blood pressure is this and that. I'm not this. I don't even discuss that. Oh God, my blood pressure is fine. I know my body. I can feel if my blood pressure is up. And yeah, there have been days where my blood pressure has been up. But I know how to lower my own blood pressure. Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Anyway, now I'm rambling. Okay. If y'all didn't have any other questions, I'm gonna go because I've been here for almost 4 hours. I will be seeing y'all later. It's time for me to eat something. I just realized that I was hungry. Y'all have a wonderful hump day. I think today is Wednesday. I think. Yep, today is Wednesday. I was right. And I got to go because I got to follow up with somebody that's probably waiting for me and probably getting impatient. So I got to go, you guys. Y'all have a wonderful day. Make sure that y'all sub to the channel. Make sure that y'all also sub to Jasmine because, I will eventually be making a guest appearance whenever she invites me on there. If you guys want to definitely talk more about the craft and stuff. Okay. All right. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Blessings. Bye.